Morning. My name is Jane Perkins, and one of the things that you in your order of service is that not only am I your worship associate today, but that I was responsible for the flowers. And indeed, my grandmother's favorite flower was daisies. So June is always special, and you can find them on the roadsides, in waste spaces, lots of places. So those little daisies down there next to the pulpit are for me and my grandmother. And then I had the wonderful surprise of having Doreen Spirito walk through the door this morning with this fabulous artistic arrangement. And so we have two sets of flowers today, but I want Doreen to have credit for lovely, lovely flowers on our altar. Our service leader today is our very own I've had COVID. Give me a break. The brain is gone. Laurie, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. We also want to welcome those joining us on YouTube and encourage you to have a candle or a chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad that you are here with us today. The theme for today is delight. We invite you to carry that theme with you as you are with us today and as you go forward into the new week. We strive to be a green sanctuary. It gives roots and wings to our vision of a world where all people build toward a sustainable future and make reverence, gratitude, and care for the living earth central to our lives. We want to acknowledge that our building sits on the unceded land of the Wabanaki Confederation, which includes the Abenaki, Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot nations. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you leave the sanctuary. Our current COVID guidelines are on the back page. There will be a coffee hour. It will be in the green room, which is next to the parish hall, between the parish hall and the kitchen. So find all sorts of wonderful things there and share a few moments with your fellow parishioners. Please join me in reading for the lighting of the chalice. It's in your order of service and also on the wall to the left of the chancel. This is our sacred promise.
To gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve the human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine.
Come into this circle of community. Come into this sacred space. Be not tentative. Bring your whole self. Bring the joy that makes your heart sing. Bring your kindness and your compassion. Bring also your sorrow and your pain. Bring your brokenness and your disappointments. Spirit of love and mystery, help us to recognize the spark of divine that resides within each one of us. May we know the joy of our wholeness. May we know the joy of being together. And now I invite you to stand as you're able and join me singing hymn number 65, Sweet June Days.
Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. 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 Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. 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 Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. 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 Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. 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 Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. Oh, come sing a song. Sing a joyful song, everybody. 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 Sing a joyful song, everybody.
This is the time in our service we invite you to come forward to share a joy or a sorrow in your life. If you choose, please tell us who you are, share your joy or sorrow, light a candle.
My name's Harold, and I have a tremendous joy to share with you. It was 32 years ago this week that I met that lady sitting right over there.
Good morning, I'm Ellie. I lit 2 candles this morning. The first is a candle of joy. I cannot say thank you enough to the choir for showing up when they show up and just doing the best and you know, looking at me when I say, we're going to sing without music today, and trying not to, you know, to roll their eyes too much. So anyway, thank you, choir. Appreciate you. And the second candle is a candle of concern. Many of you know my cousin Bernard. He had surgery last week. It went well, but there's still issues, and he's still in the hospital in Boston. So I'm scooting out right after the service so I can go down and visit him. Hopefully he'll be back in this area soon in rehab, and for those of you who are friendly with him, I know he'd appreciate visits, so I'll keep you posted on that. So please keep Bernard in your prayers.
My name is Janine, and I lit 2 candles today. One is a concern for Sonia. Please keep her in your prayers. She's having surgery tomorrow, I think. Today. Yesterday. All right, well. All right, so she just had surgery, and keep her in your prayers. We want to make sure everything went really, really well and that she recovers quickly. And the second one is we celebrated an anniversary this week too, and David's building me an addition on the house, and our son-in-law, Charlie, came up to help him yesterday for my downstairs bathroom, so I'm really excited about it.
Wasn't sure I should light a candle. I didn't want to embarrass anyone, but it is a birthday of somebody close and dear to me. And for the present, I purchased a plot of land, plant a tree. So if everyone would like to wish my wonderful husband, Charles, now please address him as Laird Charles Robinson.
Good morning, I'm Betsy. I lit 2 candles this morning, one for Sonia, and wishing her a speedy recovery, and the other is a candle of joy for being part of this community and all the well wishes from and support from all of you after our wedding last Sunday.
We light one last candle for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken but that we carry in our hearts. As you go forward into the week, please carry what you've heard here today with you.
Well, for those of you who were with us last week, our book was My Shadow is Pink, and it was very fun and it was well received. And today, in the theme of delight and in the, thank you, month of pride, the book is My Shadow is Purple. This is really fun. I'm so glad someone's up here. You're all invited to do that next week. My dad has a shadow that's blue as a berry, and my mom's is pink as a blossoming cherry. There's only those choices, a 2 or a 1. But mine is quite different. It's both, and it's none. If theirs are straight, then mine is a circle, for my shadow's different. My shadow is purple. My shadow loves all, playing with all sorts of toys. Things loved by girls and things loved by boys. Just going to show our young man here because you can't see in the back. I dance with the pinks as they turn and they spin, and play with the blues as they lose and they win. Oh, I'm supposed to show it to the camera. Some of my friends think I'm simply confused, but the thing I love most is not having to choose. Some tell me I'm blue, only blue can be strong, but my mom's strong too, so I think that they're wrong. Some tell me I'm pink because pink is most caring, but Dad's always crying and he's loving and sharing. Why can't I love sports and dancing and trains and ponies and glitter and engines and planes? Why must I choose and exclude all the rest? I love choosing both because both is the best. And now it is time for the greatest event. The school dance is here. The invite's been sent. I'm ready to rock and I'm feeling real cute. My mom made my skirt and my dad made my suit. I bounce through the door and I gasp as I enter. The room split in two, right down the center. Blue shadows go left and pink shadows go right. Once we're split up, we'll kickstart the night. Everyone laughs as they head to their zones, and right in the middle, I'm left all alone. I look to the left where the shadows are blue. They wave me on over. Hey, you are blue too. Then I look at the right and I struggle to think. They call me over. Come on, now you're pink. The teacher walks up looking rather amused. I know you are different, but now you must choose.
Oh, great.
Right? My heart just starts racing and tears fill my eyes. I know I must choose, but I don't understand why. The room has gone quiet and everyone's looking. My cheeks are so red, it feels like they're cooking. If I can't be purple, then I cannot stay. I'll leave and go home, I quietly say. I slowly start walking. My legs are like jello. A voice breaks the silence. This voice says, my shadow is yellow. My eyes open wide. My shadow, it gawks. A child walks to the middle, looks up, and they talk. There's more than two colors our shadows can be. I was too scared before because blue is not me. I know from outside blue fits like a glove, but my shadow is yellow, which to me feels like love. They turn with a smile and take hold of my hand. Who wants to join us? There's room here to stand. At first, no one moves. Then a hand comes in the air. My shadow's as brown as a big grizzly bear. My shadow is red. My shadow is silver. Mine's green. Mine's violet. Mine's orange. Mine's aquamarine. They all rush to join us, whatever their color, blue, pink, purple, and shadows called other. I look at each shadow. No two are the same. On each happy face, there's no trace of shame. Each different and special and fully unique. No color stronger, and no color is weak. The teacher comes over as we're joined as one. Whatever your color, start dancing and having fun. And that's it. Thank you. And now I invite you to stand as you're able and join me in singing hymn number 66, When the Summer Sun is Shining.
Delight. Delight is a journey and a destination. It doesn't exist in a solid form. It is sparkling expectation. It is the joy of fulfillment. It lives in heart palpitations, in stomach flutters, in tingles of toes, in uncontrollable smiles. The smell of a baby, a dark chocolate donut, a brilliant sunset, the hug of a friend. Delight is exhausting and exhilarating, two sides of the same coin. It inspires us, fires us, requires us to show up for life. In its fullest expression, delight is the spark of creation for all living things. It drives us and resides in us. Delight is a journey and a destination.
Well, speaking of delight, it's delightful to see so many faces, kind of more than many Sundays. And now I have a question for you. Can you raise your hand if you didn't get a tub of Play-Doh? Did everybody get tubs of Play-Doh? Everybody did. Nobody didn't get one. Oh, okay, so keep your hands raised. You didn't get one either. If the hand is raised, could you split your Play-Doh and share it with somebody? Everybody's got to have some Play-Doh. So we just have 2 people, which means there's 46 people here. Just, Brian, that's for your head count, 46 people. Thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for putting up with me. So today is our last normal service. I have so much gratitude for our time together. From the pulpit, we have explored belonging, courage, change, wonder, finding our center, love, vulnerability, resistance, creativity, and this month we explored delight. We have had people from 10 different community-based organizations come who integrated these themes with us and helped us think of themes in the tangible ways. I know that the annual report details the people who have made your worship experience possible, but I want to call them to name because I'm so appreciative of them. Paul, the other musicians, Ellie, the worship assistants, the ushers, the camera people, those who clean and prepare the sanctuary, those who make sure the candles are there, those who make sure the heat is on when it's working, and that fans are working and the organ is humidified, those who print bulletins, those who fold bulletins, those who bring Play-Doh. And if I've missed someone, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to, but we love you and are grateful for making this space holy and welcoming to all who come. The committees have worked hard, and with the added bonus of an unanticipated challenge this year, may not be surprised for the challenge by the specific challenges still, but dealing with them in ways that we had to this year was a bit unanticipated, and yet we have persisted. We have accomplished great things this year, not always sexy things. Progress nonetheless. We have made progress in our streaming and have learned that some folks stick with us on the stream even when we don't do such a great job of it. We are looking to build it up this next year. We have risen to the needs of the community, developed relationships with other faith communities, with the municipal offices, with community. We are growing, perhaps not in ways we normally recognize. We have been growing nonetheless. This is a remarkable community. The love and care that is expressed here and expressed more fully in the action that people are taking here to take care of one another. We consider the principles when we create worship, but you live them out in front of us every day. That doesn't mean there isn't disagreement, but kindness, consideration, contemplation are engaged to address different opinions. And we are all very different people who approach things very differently. We all have quirks, and at some point or another, we have rubbed someone the wrong way. And at some point and another, we have been rubbed the wrong way. I have witnessed us, sit through that discomfort until it is transformed. And I personally subscribe to a theology called marginality, which is the theology that attributes all growth towards God, comes from the friction and the fire in the margins of our lives. There is the comfortable center of things when things go as expected, where the ins, whoever they are driving the ship, where the group culture is affirmed in all ways. But in theology of marginality, there's also articulated that there are outs. And that's true in all of life. And the group that is not is on the edge of that circle. But it is indeed not in the game, so to speak. And then there is the edge, the margin, the space where the ins bump up against the outs. And there is friction and messy, unruly, uncontained margins. And in those margins, in the unknown, is where the magic happens. It is when our boundaries are stretched and grown. It is where new life is bursting forth, even in through the acts of turbulence. As humans, for the most part, we seek comfort. We seek to find a place where we literally fit in. But growing necessarily means stretching and making room for for space that we don't already occupy. It is often not easy and comes with discomfort and pain, like it or not. And in the church context, that can mean things like experienced people leaving over disagreements. It can also mean new people joining who have ideas that require we stretch or modify the way we have always done it. And in both of those examples, we are in the fiery margins of creation. In the margins, creating new communities, stretching, opening up. In the margins. To meet the needs in a life-affirming and life-giving way, we have to dwell there in that discomfort. And I hear from all of you in one form or another that you are encountering each other and the world with compassion. So you can dwell in the margins because you have the principles to guide you. The specific theology I'm talking about is a Christian theology. It is a theology imagined by a Korean pastor who served a white, older congregation. He experienced discrimination. He was treated as an outsider even though he was the minister, and he articulated this theology through his own story. He spoke of seeing God being born through Christ in the struggle between preserving the church as it was and making space for him who thought very differently. Faith that pulled and pushed and stretched in order for a new expression to come forth. Growing pains. Pains. There is a question that comes with this theology that I'm talking about. Does there always have to be messy, painful edges for growth to occur? And my answer is yes. And it requires abandoning that center sometimes, abandoning the rational, linear way that most of us process things. And there are ways to navigate the messiness of it all. And I think the best way to navigate the messiness of it all is to cultivate delight. It is in play. Play stretches our imaginations. It most often requires that we use senses and muscles that we don't use day to day as we think about things, triggering brain responses that are not hardwired habits. Play has a different language than normal conversation. It is often more invitational and expansive. Play allows for, expects, answers that don't necessarily make sense. And they don't have to, because it's play. Play is often spontaneous, unplanned, not to be controlled. A toy truck doesn't have to be rolled down the road on its wheels. It can fly or it can sail. It doesn't have to move dirt. It can be a taxi for flamingos or a house for imaginary friends, because it's not necessarily logical or linear. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have boundaries. It can have limitless possibilities. Play can take you far beyond yourself as you have restricted space for your imagination. Play gives you a chance to create a new language with a play partner, because what you co-create necessarily restricted to words and concepts that we already know. This does an amazing thing. It invites, if not requires us to pay close attention to our play partners, to learn a new way to tune in or relate to that playing experience and that shared fun that we're having. Play can teach patience and understanding as you make space for your partners in play. Play gives you opportunities to make new friends, expand your imagination, and create new possibilities. Play is fun. It makes joy. It is delightful. Play is the stuff of God. Creation is playful, forming humanity out of mud or tears, depending on what your tradition is. There are other ways. This is playfulness. And we as humans have been specifically and particularly invited to play and co-create what's happening now and what comes next. Our communities of faith, UUs and beyond, are meant to call us to this sacred task, this hopeful task, this joyful task, with principles and responsibility and accountability to steward the gifts we have been given and create a place for all that come after us. Hopefully and joyfully. That is truly our task as church people, to be hopeful and joyful through it all. Nobody is always hopeful or joyful, but it is one of our holy tasks. to make those our trajectory. Community is not always hopeful and joyful, but we are called as a community to cultivate that. And today at our annual meeting, we are taking inventory of how we've done. But before annual meeting, I want to invite us to play together in church. So, take out your Play-Doh, something you don't hear often in church. Roll it in a ball, smush it, break it apart, sniff it, roll it back up again. I love it, I can hear you doing it. Now close your eyes and create a church. Doesn't have to be literal. It can be an image you have in your mind. You are starting from scratch. What does church, a church, look like to you? Represent to you? Literally or figuratively? As you create it, ask yourself some questions. What can or should this church that you are creating do? Does it have a roof, walls, doors, windows, pews, organs, floors? Is your church in your heart? Is it on land or on wheels? Can it fly and pick people up at their own houses? What happens in your church? What never happens in your church? What is contained in your church? Now go ahead and finish up your church. And as you do, I want you to take a deep breath and think about one word that you would use to describe the church in your hands. One word about what you've just created. Now, pass your church to someone else. Possibly someone that you're not familiar with or that you don't know really well. Everybody should have a church that's not their own. Now let's take a moment here to look at the church that you've received, that someone else created in play, in clay. It captures a piece of them that came from beyond their rational self. And they've given that to you to hold and experience and to protect. Remember that this is a unique creation prepared through some inspiration, hopefully. It captures the imagination of someone who you are on a soul journey with. And it is, in fact, a precious gift that you hold. What does it feel to hold someone else's church in your hand? How does it feel emotionally knowing that this is their inspired creation of something that is very important to them? Without damaging it, feel it with your fingers. How does it feel physically? Does it feel fragile or malleable? Are you enjoying holding it? Does it give you a different or bigger understanding of church? Are there qualities or words for this creation that you hadn't captured or used in your own creation? Has their creation captured your imagination? Someone holds your creation, your church, in their hands. An image of what church means to you, of your experience of community. How does it feel knowing that you shared your idea of church with them and it is now theirs to hold, take care of, play with, or judge? Do you feel happy to share it? Do you feel vulnerable to share it? Do you care if they smash it and use the Play-Doh to make something else? How did it feel to give your church away? Like the egg exercise that many of us did when we were in school, when students were given an egg to care for with a partner for a week, they would take it with them and care for it so it wouldn't break. I invite you to take this someone's church with you from worship and into annual meeting and care for it. As annoying as this might seem, try not to misplace it or sit on it or leave it somewhere. Remember the word, or think about a word that it means to you and keep that word present with you through the meeting. Remember that you are responsible for holding someone else's church in your hands, and someone else is holding yours. Remember the hope and joy that went into creating it. I'm hoping that it did. Take that hope and joy with you when we come together after church for coffee and when we come together for annual meeting. And let there be delight.
When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts and spirits, our time and energy, our talents and skills to support the work of this church here within our walls and out in the larger community. We also bring the gift of generosity, giving of what we have so that the work of this church may continue. As always, half of our offering today will be sent out into the larger community. This month, we are sharing our offering with the Equality Community Center. There is lovely information about that organization on the back of your order of service. If you are watching from home on YouTube, donations may be made by clicking the PayPal link in the video description or checks may be mailed to the UUCSB 60 School Street in Saco. Please be generous as the ushers wait upon you this morning. Please join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. As we release this flame
From its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths, today, tomorrow, and always.
Please remain standing and sing Blessed Spirit of My Life, hymn number 86.
Thank
Kick the ball. Dance in the rain, get lost on purpose. Play fetch with the dog, fly the kite, smell the flowers. Jump in the puddle, pull out the paints, throw the dice. Learn the two-step, let life take you by the hand. Lean back and let the wind mess up your hair. Be where you are, open to what's before you. Behold delight, win the prize and share it, and may it be so.
next week.